Hey guys, Yoshuka here from Noblies. And first of all, I would like to apologize. I do know that we are kind of late for the Arah Path 2 guide. It's actually because recently we just moved the whole guild to Jade Quarry. So we have to take care of some stuff first before we can start to do all these video guides again. So today I'm gonna bring you to Arah Path 2 as promised. And hopefully you'll be able to complete this dungeon with some of the tricks and tips that we're gonna give you in this video guide. And thank you for all the messages. I've been receiving a lot of messages through YouTube comment, private messages, and also in-game messages. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Just maybe give me some time to answer some of those questions that you have. So in the beginning of Arah Dungeon Part 2, you will face these spiders in front of the cave. I suggest to kill all of them because they can be very distractive sometimes. But hey, they're not doing a lot of damage anyway, so just kill them before you proceed forward. So as you go deeper into the cave, you will start to fight some undead monsters. I don't recommend to just use your invisibility skill to skip all these monsters because the cave is quite long and there will be more undead inside. So my first tips here is actually to kill all of them first until you see the end of the tunnel, which you're going to see in a while. So this is the end of the tunnel, guys. You have to fight 4 undeads, 2 berserkers and 2 of the decayed undeads. Just make sure you fight long range when you are killing those poison undead because they do deal a lot of damage with the poison. So once you kill those monsters, you'll have to get ready to use the invisibility skill from the thief, of course, and also at the same time boost your speed movement. There are few that eye undead in front. You do not want to fight those guys especially in far distance because the dead eye undead can basically one-shot kill your character from far. So this is the first boss that you have to fight in Arah Path 2. The fight is relatively very easy. You just have to make sure all your teammates are within a medium range at least, because later on he will start to teleport from one spot to another spot and he will start to light up all those barrels that you see on the ground. The barrels is not really an issue, but the problem after he starts teleporting, he will cast that sort of like an electric ball charge that you have to dodge. As long as you stay near within a medium range at least, those balls shouldn't be a problem. So it's pretty much an easy fight here, not an issue. Don't forget to collect your chest, guys. And as you move forward, you will come across this golem suit. You are supposed to use this in order to complete this cave, but for me and my guildmates, we don't usually use it because it can be very stressful when you use that and then you have to walk along together with all your teammates. So I would prefer to use the invisibility skill because in this case I have a thief and a mesmer, or usually I will just do this solo by using the whisper spy kit, because you don't have to bring all your teammates in order to complete this area. You just need to go to the end of this tunnel and then unlock the waypoints so that all your teammates can actually spawn. So you can see here that there is a waypoint that I can unlock, but don't worry about the monsters because they will not pass over this area. As you can see, the tower is start to hitting the monsters and all their concentration goes to the turret. So after get all your teammates to teleport to the waypoint, and then from here I will teach you how to skip all the monsters around this area. So basically, if you have invisibility skill or your whisper spike kit, use it. Walk straight, but keep on the right side of the hill. You'll see a small tunnel, and then inside this tunnel you can actually skip all the monsters again just by using the invisibility skill and all the whisper spike kit. Just remember to walk on the right side of the hill, because this is where you can actually just skip all the monsters. From here, it's pretty much the same as what you have seen in my part 1 tutorial. Remember this place where you have to trigger the dynamite to sort of kill all the monsters in front. So the same thing, you have the same thing on Arah Path 2. So just like in Arah Path 1, you can just keep walking. And if you remember this place, this is actually the place where you have to fight the Tar elements in part 1 of Arah. But in part 2, you are supposed to fight the Berserker champion. So the boss fight here is actually not really hard. Get all your teammates to kill the rifleman first, because you want to take the rifle gun and get ready to shoot the Berserker champion before he turned into a big ass monster. You see that? So what I just did there is basically use the gun when the Berserker champions turn into a big ass monsters. So you just keep doing that, and once you kill him, you'll receive your second chest. So once you take your chest, you have to move forward. You'll come across this bunch of monsters. You can just kill them if you want. And from here, you will have to fight Lupi again. So in this guide, I'm not going to show you how to fight Lupi, because Lupi is a very common boss in Arah. From part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, you still have to face Lupi. So if you want to know how to kill Lupi, go back and search for my Arah Part 1 guide. You'll be able to see the guide on how to kill Lupi on that video. So just a reminder, over here you are supposed to skip all the monsters by using the invisibility skill. And remember to stay on the left of the wall when you pass this area, because you do not want to aggro the rest of the mobs. In order to open the gates, you are supposed to kill these two Berserker. Once you have killed both, the gate will open, and this is when you're supposed to fight Lupi. So go and check out my Arah Part 1 guide, and you'll be able to find out how you can kill Lupi. So let's assume you guys have taken care of Lupi. This is the part where you're supposed to run, but this time around you have to be a little bit more careful in stepping some of the ground, because you see those some sort of like a stone on the ground. Those are actually mines, and you do not want to walk close to your teammates when you are stepping on those stones, because they can one-shot kill you. And this is the water part. I'm just gonna show you how to walk through this one. So once you get out from the water, you're supposed to walk along this area. Just make sure you follow the same path as we do, because by doing this you will actually skip a lot of mines that you have to go through. As you can see, the place where we are running right now, there's no mines and there's no monsters. So make sure you follow this path rather than going down into those mines. You'll see in a while that there are so many mines below there. You see that? And you do not want to cross all those mines. So just make sure you follow the same path. I'm not gonna skip any of this run because I want to show you which way to take, which way you should not take. And trust me, this will save a lot of time in completing Arah Dungeon Part 2. Okay, just stick to the right. Once you have unlocked the next waypoint, make sure you move to the left, because if you go to the right, then you have to face a lot of monsters. At the same time, you have to pass a lot of mines. But if you stick on the left, you don't have to actually fight all those mobs, and you can skip a lot of mines at the same time. Once you have finished with this whole area, you will have to fight another boss in part 2. And at the same time, you will unlock another waypoint, and of course, you'll get another chest, right? And this is the next boss that you have to face. So it's not gonna be difficult to kill this guy because all his skill is quite predictable. So that's the first skill that he usually use. He will pulls you into into the place where he's standing, and he will put down a barrel. So when he does that, you just make sure that you go out from the barrel range before it explodes. And once in a while, he'll go back to the center. And when he does that, make sure you hide behind all those boxes. You see those green boxes? Just make sure you hide behind those boxes, because he will start to spin around, and at the same time he will attack you with this electric ball. Every time he stops spinning, one of the boxes will disappear. So if you can count just now, you can actually hide behind those boxes as much as 5 times. So when his life reaching about 15%, he will start to call up some backups in order to kill you. So all these riflesmen will start to appear. Just make sure you kill them as soon as possible. And if you have normal boxes, you can actually hide in this area. Just like in the beginning, guys, before you reach the safe area to skip monsters, you have to kill some of the mobs first that you're going to face. One of them is this big guy just now that you see earlier. He will basically burst himself into a bunch of worms. See that? And they should be very easy to kill. So you should just kill all of them first before you move forward.
Suggestion: go to level 35 by crafting.
Well, that's not easy. At low level, I'm not gonna skip any of this fight because I want to show you what other monsters that you will face before you reach the safe area to actually use the invisibility skill and skip all the monsters again.
I think we have crafting wait. No, that's the level actually. I can't really.
If you are facing the technician, just make sure the technician will be the first priority in your team, because they can stun one of your teammates or maybe yourself for quite a long time. So make sure he's your first target when you see a technician. So once you reach this big boat, there'll be a couple, as you can see, there'll be a couple of undeads going round and round this boat. Make sure you time it perfectly. You might want to kill one of those groups before you move on forward. Kill it as soon as possible because I believe there are a total of 3 groups going around this boat.
Yeah. Can be 2 as well.
So this will be the last monsters, the last group of monsters that you have to fight.
I just find watching the passing tab.
Once you have cleared those monsters, this is actually the part where you have to use the invisibility skill to make your dungeon run faster. Because you do not want to fight all those mobs. They are really troublesome. So get your thief to use the invisibility skill and skip all these monsters. Just keep running and running past these monsters as well. And be careful in front there because you have technician. Make sure you have enough invisibility. So there are 2 ways actually to reach this area. One is by going up and the other one is by going down. As long as you stick on the left side of the wall, you should be able to actually go to the boss place straight away without have to go up. Once you pass the area, this is actually the last boss of Arah Path 2. And basically there are 2 phases in this fight. The first one, you have to bring down the boss HP to 50%. So in order to do that, you have to get one of your teammates to use the small terminal on the right top corner of my screen. While your teammate is damaging the boss, you are supposed to defend the terminal. Now the trick to defend this properly is basically to make those big guys explode in front of the entrance. By doing that, you see that some of the mobs are actually fighting the worm itself. You see that on the left corner of my screen? The technician is actually fighting the worm. That will save you a lot of time in defending this terminal. So right now, one of my teammates is down, and the condition that will help me, that will allows me to hit the boss, actually has a timer on it. I believe it was 30 seconds. So I have about 30 seconds to kill all this, to deal as much damage as I can to this boss, because we want to bring down his life to 50%. So right now my buff is finishing, so I'm going out from the area and then switch. Another teammates of mine is actually going in to hit the boss, and in a while you see that all of us actually turn into some sort of like invisible characters. This is when you can actually go in and hit the boss until his life goes down to 0. So when you're in this state, you can actually damage him just like any other boss. So that's it, guys. This will be the last boss. Once you manage to kill him, there will be no chest for this part 2, but you'll be able to get the full reward of the dungeon.
Well,
so I hope you guys enjoy the guide, and next week we'll give you Arah Path 3 tutorial. Keep the comments coming, subscribe to us, and you can ask me anything in game on YouTube's comment or through private message. I'll be happy to answer all your questions. This is Yoshuka from Noblis in Jade Quarry. Thanks, guys. Oh, nice.
Light armor.
Can sell that for quite expensive. Oh my god,